What is up, Nashville Fit fam? We are back with another fantastic episode of the Nashville Fit Podcast. Welcome, welcome. My name is Savanna Hill. Y'all can call me Sav, and I am, of course, here with my boy.
I am the Gerell Webb. What's going on, Fit fam?
What's going on?
You guys good? Sav, you good?
I am doing so good.
You sure?
Yeah. Can you not tell by the sound of my voice?
I can tell by that tan.
Oh,
yeah.
Just getting me
I know.
today.
It hasn't worn off yet.
All the feel
hasn't
goods.
worn off yet. Hey, I got a question for you.
What's your
Pro Vita Fitness, located in the heart of Germantown, your neighborhood spot for personal training, small group fitness, and 24 access to everything you need in a gym. First class is free. Come by today for a free consultation to find out more.
Real question.
Shoot.
How did you get into juggling kettlebells? Like, when was the day one? You're like, you know what?
Honestly, that's a great question.
I'm gonna go
I put it off for a long
throw
time.
this kettlebell around a little bit.
I have put it off for a long time because of how people go, like, what are you doing? Like, how is that going to make me jacked? And it won't make you jacked necessarily, but it's super fun. And I think the only reason I put it, because I've been working with kettlebells for years, but I've gradually learned more and more ways to use them. And juggling was the last thing that I was like, okay, I'm going to do this, because I was already doing so many other things. And then Belfast that I've told you about was kind of the first event that took place where so many people were in one room who were obsessed with kettlebells. I've never had that experience. And so, of course, there's people who juggle, and that's all they do. And then you become friends with those people. And then over time, like the next Belfast, you see those people again and you've built relationships. And it's kind of more of like the community kind of pushed me into it, because they're so encouraging and very talented. And I'm the kind of person that I have way too many things I want to do all the time, you know, but it keeps life exciting. And it also teaches me a lot. You know, there's hand-eye coordination there. There's skill there that I did not realize you had to have. Like athletic skill. So yeah, I've only recently really kind of been like, okay, I'm going to learn this stuff.
Who's the better juggler, you or Steven?
Steven? I don't know that Steven's into juggling.
Does he not juggle?
He probably does a little flipping sometimes, but yeah, I don't think he's much.
I just try to get you to pop your stuff sometimes. Just
pop my stuff.
Yeah.
Like you want me to get
talk
really
more about
defensive?
you. No, I want you not to be humble. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be like, oh no, I'll kill Steven in the juggling. Like that's what I want you to say. But you're so humble. You're like, oh, does Steven juggle? I don't know.
I have to be humble because I'm still new to juggling.
So what? All
right.
Be
I'm
naive.
the best juggler in the world.
There you go. See? There you go. You got to pop off a little bit.
Because nobody likes the person that's always bragging. You know, it's like, I'm the best at everything. It's
people
like,
love Muhammad Ali.
Well,
it's not bragging if it's true.
Muhammad Ali he could back it up.
Exactly.
You know, I can't back it up.
Of course you can. Not yet.
Guys, today this episode is brought to you by Dr. Sleep Fix, our friend Dr. Bijoy John, and his book here. If you're seeing the camera, it is Nobody's Sleeping. I highly recommend reading this book. Whether you are in the fitness industry or not, you're a human breathing person. Like you need to
you're a human breathing person.
Prioritize your sleep if you want to like effectively human better. So
human better. Yeah.
There's so much information. I read this book and I read it like almost in 2 days, and it's not an easy read. Like as in you'll read it. Oh yeah, it's like 5 pages. It was just that good and that informative, and it got me through my trip to Africa without jet lag.
I actually hate that I missed that episode. I got so many questions.
I do too, honestly, because he's an awesome guy. He really, and I think he is the guy to talk to about if you have sleep issues. And I could talk about this all day, but like sleep, if you're not getting enough sleep, you can cause further issues like diabetes, like cancer, things like that can develop from not getting proper sleep and having sleep issues. So if you read this book, you might be able to like literally save your own life or someone you know. So anyway, that is our title sponsor for today. So thank you, Dr. John. Thank you for this book and everything that you are doing for the Nashville Fit community. But we need to get into our guest here.
Let's do it. Yeah.
We have Sydney Dumler. Am I saying that correctly? Yeah. Okay. Sydney Dumler we're going to talk all about her in a second. But before we do, Sydney, we do this icebreaker segment called The Basket of Debate. And you were telling me a little bit before we started recording that you were thrown into the fire to do like a reformer demo on the news.
Oh, gosh.
We were also thrown into the news to do the basket of debate one time. And so this is our fun little way of kind of like breaking the ice. We kind of get conversations started. It's not anything too deep, but honesty is policy. You know, if you have an opinion, you're allowed to agree to disagree. And most of the time it's silly stuff. So we'll go first so that you can kind of get an idea. Gerell, why don't you kick us off here?
Yeah, I got you. Which is better, lifting and running shoes?
No.
Or lifting and lifting shoes?
I hate both.
Not
running shoes. I'd rather you lift in lifters.
Yeah, if you're lifting, I mean lifting shoes. I mean, I think that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It
says it in the question.
Yeah, if you're running shoes. Like you wouldn't run in lifting shoes. You wouldn't take off running like, oh, I'm going to go run 3 miles in these. No,
talk about like sore Achilles.
Yeah. Jeez, Terry. Do better.
Would you like to go next, Sydney, or would you like to answer that question?
Mine says, what is your dream fitness-related Christmas gift?
Oh, this should be good, Sydney. What do you got?
I feel like a new pair of shoes. Since
A new pair of shoes?
That's
Okay.
always good.
Oh, yeah.
Or just a workout set.
Nice.
Matching
Oh,
top and
yes.
bottoms. That's always a
Ooh,
good.
what's your favorite like brand of like workout sets?
We sell Splits 59 at the studio. I
Okay.
don't know if you've ever got anything from there. I just learned about it, but their fabrics are like very stretchy, stay in place.
Love
and it
that.
works for whatever workout you want to do. Pilates is low impact, but I feel like you could do other stuff in it too.
Awesome. That's good to know. I'm always looking because,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not attached to a
It's
brand.
a cheap Christmas gift. That's easy. Shoes or a set. Oh, just shoes
were you
or a
gonna
match.
say, like
I was gonna go like some Normatec boots.
Okay.
Or
Just
That'd
come
be
to the nations.
yeah,
Carbon.
but again, I don't like sharing with people.
Yeah, I get you.
A lot of sweaty people just get in and out, and so
Yeah.
I feel you.
germs, very
I
close
feel like-
proximity to other people's germs, squeezing it into my skin. It
Yeah,
just
let me
doesn't
put my
feel.
sweaty, like,
Yeah,
leave.
right. Yeah, like, yeah.
A
So
sauna would be a
a
good-
That
sauna.
would
There
be
you
a
go.
great
Fine.
one.
There you go.
Is bigger, yeah.
Yeah, it said dream. What's your dream
Yeah,
Christmas
I
gift?
had all the budget.
Yeah, she was like,
Say
man-
my own infrared.
Her mom's in there. She's like, just some shoes or a set, anything, you know, just throwing that out there, you know, some shoes or a set.
Sauna for Christmas. Honestly,
What about you, Sav?
I might steal that one.
I know what
Sauna would
Savs
be
is.
dope.
Okay. Sauna?
Honestly, like I have actually been thinking about Christmas. I would really love donations of kettlebells for my kettlebell class. Because
Okay.
I'm constantly looking for more because the class is growing, which is great, but like I need competition bells. So I would love to just have like all of the kettlebells, all of them, every size, a pair of each size. But like, I feel like I'm going to start like repelling people from kettlebells if I keep
talking about all the kettlebells, white ones, pink ones, black ones, every
No,
set.
I'd probably go along the lines of like, I always am looking for, you know, more apparel, you know, like change up my wardrobe because I will wear the same thing for years, but you know, you have to kind of kick me into getting new stuff.
Yeah.
And usually Christmas is when I get like a new set or something and I'm like, you know, and then I'm like refreshed. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Last one.
All right, what you got?
Natty or not. So this is one that we do natural or not. Like did this person,
Any enhancements?
yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Natty or not, Joe Rogan.
Not.
I don't know anything.
I don't
Nah.
know much about him. Like, if
Nah.
you put him in a line of men, I don't think I could point him out.
I'm
You
kinda-
could.
You think?
I
Put
know
up a
his
picture.
face,
Maybe
but-
just
Show,
see a picture
yeah.
of him
So
on-
he's not gonna be like you wouldn't see him and like, oh, he's ripped. That's not gonna be what you get from him. You're gonna get
I feel like he's probably said somewhere.
yeah,
if he
he's
is or
that,
not.
and that's why I said not, because I know he's talked about it on his podcast about so that is
But the natty or not questions are always way like more geared toward Gerell because I don't ever
'Cause you don't
keep
know.
up with
Yeah, I
who
don't
is
think I
on
could
what.
tell.
You know, like
yeah.
I can tell when it's obvious, but I can't tell if it's not
I'm
obvious.
trying to find. He
you
doesn't
know?
have any like. He only has headshots, so that lets you know something.
Yeah, maybe that's our.
It's
that's
like
our
every
tell.
picture's like
That
chest
does
up.
say a lot. I mean,
Come on, Joe, do better, man.
Type in Joe Rogan's body.
Yeah, no, I don't know that I want that in my search history. I have some questions to answer later. My wife's like, why are you looking for something you want to tell me? Like, nah, it was for the podcast. Terry told me to do it.
Honestly, I think she would believe you at this point.
She probably would.
Terry has put in these. So we'll do another segment at the end called Stretch Your Intellect, but we'll get there when we get there. Right now, let's jump into your story. So, Sydney, you are the founder of Forza Pilates, which is one of the most beautiful studios I've ever seen. Pilates is a very growing, trending modality of fitness right now, especially in Nashville. So tell us, like, where you got started with like fitness. Was it always Pilates, or was it something else before and then you got into Pilates? Like, where did you get your start?
Started with yoga, which is low impact, still very focused on breath work and stretching. So it was an easy transition. I feel like a lot of people like to do both, but I'm from Colorado. I did my first yoga teacher training when I was 18 at Core Power in Colorado, and then moved out here for Belmont.
Awesome.
I taught classes at the Fit Rec there.
Okay. Did you go to Belmont, or did you teach there?
I went to Belmont,
Okay,
and
right
then
on.
I just taught like peers in the gym there, and it was a requirement for some type of class at Belmont, so I'd have to sign off on people's papers, and all my friends would be like, could you just sign this and say that I took your yoga class? So I started off at Belmont.
And did you?
No. I was
okay,
like,
great
answer.
answer.
Take my class.
Great answer.
6 a.m.
Great
So
answer.
it was pretty early. Started teaching yoga when Core Power opened here. I led some of their training programs and was working full-time there all throughout college. So I always thought I'd open a yoga studio. Then I found Pilates and was like, I actually like this even more, and there's not enough places to do it. So it's kind of just a thought that naturally kept growing until it was like just so on my mind that I was like, I have to pursue it. I'm on the wait list at all the studios I'm trying to go to. I'm driving 15 minutes out of town.
When
from
was
where
this?
I live.
Like what?
We just
around what
opened in
year?
December. So
but when did you like have these thoughts about opening a Pilates studio?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Because it took time to find a space. I'm
Sure.
in Wedgwood, Houston. Everything's new construction. So that was definitely the longest process, was just figuring out where, especially because fitness studios are so location based. Like, people don't want to drive too far. They don't want to be inconvenienced.
Totally.
So
I get it.
It was probably like a 2-year process from like thinking about it to opening the studio.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Have you done Pilates? Both of you?
I have done Pilates, and it kicked my butt.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie
Very
to
humbling.
you. Yeah, very, very. Because even yoga. So I think I told Sav this my first yoga class. I'm a former athlete, and my first yoga class that I took, it was only because I liked the instructor. Like, I thought she was hot, and I was like, I gotta get her.
Yeah, I remember this.
And she's like, yo, just come to the class. Come to my class, and then afterwards we can like go do something. I was like, all right, bet. That's easy. I trained for real. Like, she's like, this is yoga. We're gonna go stretch. Literally every hole you can imagine. Like, and she's just watching me shake. Like, yeah, you're okay. Like it's just like literally the whole time she's just looking at me, and I'm like, trembling.
It's so hard.
Very similar experience to Pilates the first time. A lot of shaking, like uncontrollable. Have you seen the video of like athletes do yoga for the first time, and they're
so
all
many
like,
good videos like that.
uncontrollable twerking? That was me.
I mean, I get it.
That was my first one, and I was like, it's cool, but it's not like that. And I was like, yeah, it is like that. And so it's like me, big black guy in a room full of nothing but white girls. And it's like, and they're killing. They're just like, oh my God, we're going to go grab coffee after. I was like, I'm going to go lay down. Like, I am dying over here. What
I love about it is like, it's a different kind of strength. Like, you know, like you can't look at it and like if you lift weights or you play like football or something, and you can't go like, oh, that's, because obviously once you do it, you're like, what? So this is, it's a different kind of, it's like isometrics and stuff like that. And owning positions and things like that. So that kind of strength has translated to strength that I focus on, like kettlebell stuff, barbell stuff. It's like, and I didn't realize that until after I had taken a few yoga classes and Pilates classes, that I'm like, and then people started like in classes and clients would be like, this reminds me of the Pilates class I took the other day. And I'm like,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Because it translates here,
Yeah.
you know.
Now,
to
I dominated
strengthen what
the
you
power
have.
class. There's a power Pilates class that they have.
Yeah.
I dominated. I was like, yeah, this is my class right here. The other ones, I'm not going back to that one. Power is
is good.
yeah. Power is good for me. Like the single leg bound, and I was like, oh yeah, this is more of my speed.
Yeah.
Add another strap. Let's go.
What is your favorite like Pilates like move? Like if you had to pick like your favorite thing to do, your reformer
Yeah.
Pilates because
Yes,
that's
I'm a
Forza.
reformer.
Yeah.
So what's your
Okay.
favorite reformer move?
I like inner thigh work. I feel like that's something that just is so challenging because you're standing with one foot on a platform, one foot on a carriage, and
Yeah, I
the
thought I was
first
going
time
to pull
did
my groin doing
it
that. Yeah, I was
really
like, this
scary.
is not going to work out well, guys.
It is scary.
have
But
no
once
control
you get
out
good at
here.
it, it feels very like exciting. I don't
Yeah.
know, just learning, getting to figure out how to do more challenging exercises, and then once you get that down, you can challenge the springs. So like that's one exercise I've gotten really good at, to where I can do it without any springs on, which
Let's
is
go.
kind of scary because you could easily fall into the splits. But it does feel good to like get stronger and to see the exact results.
That's
of
really
Pilates.
cool.
Yeah.
And I think about with inner thigh specifically, that's something that's really hard to isolate, you know,
Exactly.
unless you're doing Pilates, because in Pilates, that's where you get people who might utilize a lot of machines, because you can sit on a machine and do like adductors, like those just close the legs. But it's like you're seated. Those are the only
Yeah.
things working. That's the only time you can really isolate that. And then when you get into something like Pilates, there's a lot
Balance,
more of
yeah.
that. And a lot of people are always like, how can I target my inner thighs? And it's like, there's only so many things you can do in the gym, in the weight room with weights, you know,
Yeah.
you can do it, but then you go to a Pilates studio and they're like, inner thigh work is our middle name.
And that's a really fun one to work with athletes.
Yeah.
I've trained a few professional athletes, and they can do heavy springs. They can push the machine in and out. They can do arms, but working on balance, planking, working on really light springs and targeting inner thighs, or doing like twisting and things
Yeah.
like that has been really fun to challenge.
Yeah.
What's your favorite class to teach?
Oh, I don't know. We just introduced an advanced format, so I'm excited
Okay.
to start that. We just have so many regulars now that we've been open almost a year, and they're ready to take it up a notch. So I'm
that.
excited to be able to challenge them a little more.
That
We
says a
also
lot
have
about
jump
the gym.
board. I don't know if y'all have done a jumping class. So you can put a like board on in place of the foot bar,
Yes.
and with the springs you jump on.
Yes.
It's like a trampoline, but you're
Yeah.
laying down.
You're laying
So
down,
fun.
and your feet are like up.
That was
Yeah.
really
Oh, well, now I have to,
Killed
I'm
it.
literally
You
going
have
to
to
sign up after
Killed
that.
it, Sav.
Oh my
Dominated
God,
that
that
one.
sounds awesome.
I know. I love
Dominated
the
that
jump
one.
board class, too.
I love that one too. Yeah.
I want to know from your perspective, because I feel like you have a unique perspective on this. How come, well, maybe not how come, but like, what is your viewpoint on Pilates just blowing up all of a sudden? Because it was something that like, it's been around. Pilates
Yeah.
has been around for a minute. And then just recently, like I would say like the past few years, it's really started to trend. So
Yeah.
like your thoughts a couple of years ago about like, well, there's not that many Pilates studios. Like I'm on a wait list. I want to open my own.
Yeah.
Has significantly changed. I wonder if you had those thoughts now and hadn't opened the studio yet, would you still open it? A is one question. And B, like, where do you see it going?
Yeah.
The Pilates trend.
I see it continuing to grow more and more. Like just in opening a studio, I had a lot of friends that were scared to try it for the first time that now love it. I think once people try it,
Come try Burn Boot Camp East Nashville for 7 days free. We offer unlimited 45-minute trainer-led workouts that are a mix of strength, cardio, and conditioning. You'll never do the same workout twice. We have complimentary child watch so busy families can get their workouts in. We can also provide complimentary one-on-one meetings with the trainer to set and reach your goals, which includes body analysis, nutritional guidance, and much more. Burn Boot Camp East Nash is the most supportive community you will ever find. We want to help you reach your goals. We never charge late fees or cancellation fees. Give us a try for free today.
Like you wouldn't even sound right.
Honestly,
it wouldn't sound
Gerell,
authentic like if you said it.
That's the
Yeah.
most professional move you probably could have made is by saying
Yeah.
like I'm not going to do that because would you open a studio like if since it's in the past couple of years grown a lot and more studios have popped up, none like Forza, but like for real, and I want to talk about that. But now, if you had not opened Forza yet and you were wanting to, would you still do it knowing that it's grown so much?
yeah, I think all the more reason to open it. But my neighborhood specifically, where the studio is, I live in Wedgwood, Houston. There's still not much over there. So I feel like a lot of fitness studios in Nashville are growing and opening new locations, but for some reason, there's not a ton of fitness yet in Wedgwood, Houston. So
it's expensive.
Yeah, honestly.
See, I can tell you why.
That's definitely part of it. But I think there's so many people that live in that neighborhood. It's growing. There's so many good restaurants in the neighborhood, but nowhere to work out. So
yeah,
I definitely would.
Is that a franchise or is this your concept?
It's just me.
It's just you, really? How'd you come up with the name?
It's Italian for strength and power, and my dad's side is Italian. My mom's side is Japanese. So it's like, I want to do something to pay homage. And the reason we went with Italian words, it was just the design of the studio. So European inspired. If you've seen, we have like beams, fireplace, like it's Roman clay on the walls. So I just felt like it was more fitting to lean into that European aesthetic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what makes it unique too, because when Forza first opened, that was the talk of the town. It was just how aesthetically like beautiful the studio was, and people wanted to be there because who wouldn't want to be doing Pilates in somewhere that is that, you know, it's elegant, but it's still accessible, you know, like,
It feels like a home, which is kind of what I was going for. I feel like there's so many beautiful studios that have that industrial type feel, but I wanted it to be more residential, more cozy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you do the design yourself?
I was very involved.
Okay. I was like, because you were talking like he's like, I went in there and I told these people, listen, this is what I want. No, okay. So
yeah, I had lots of mood boards and I was very hands-on. I live 2 blocks from the studio, so every single day I was in there peeking through the windows, being like, how's it going, guys? And this time last year for Thanksgiving, my family came in and we painted the studio. Took like a whole week to paint the main room and the lobby. So we were very hands-on with the project.
Yeah. When it comes to instructing, you're very soft-spoken right now. Do you flip a switch or is this kind of how you teach? Is this you all the time?
Project, but this is like my tone most of the time.
Okay.
Which some people, I don't know if they would like it or not, but some people.
Just curious,
It's kind of relaxing, which maybe that's a good thing. Sometimes maybe not, but.
I feel like soothing is not the right word, but along those lines, because when you're doing something hard like Pilates, especially if you're like holding a position, right, and you're like, I'm gonna fall, like I can't hold this any longer, and then you hear the voice of the instructor, if it's said right,
it's like gentle parenting.
Okay, I needed that. Like I'm dying. No, I can do this. I can do this. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's room for both. Like some of our instructors are really like get into you and can motivate that way, but I've just always, and maybe it's the yoga thing, I've just always been like kind of.
Well, I was going to ask you, was it more culturally, because Japanese cultures usually women are more soft spoken, kind of very just
I don't know.
Easy, right? Yes, no. She's like, no, I don't know anything. I have no clue what you're talking about. Mom's not soft spoken, no. She's like, I'm not soft spoken, right? See, right?
You can.
She's
stop,
like,
Mama.
no.
Actually,
okay, that's when you said this. I was like, well, maybe it's just like culturally, she's just this is kind of her tone, or it's just kind of your personality.
I think it's maybe it's just I've always been a little quieter. Like I can yap, but like my tone is just a little quieter, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Now, if you're doing, no one's in the studio, it's just you, what playlist is going and what format of Pilates are you doing?
Good question.
I do like to stretch, like when there's no one in the studio. There are some incredible stretches you can do on the reformer.
I believe that.
The straps can just pull you into positions that you could not get yourself into. So
or out of.
Yeah.
No.
Sometimes the
that's
only
more
way
my
is
concern. Like you're walking, I'm still like, I've been here 3 days. Just if you could get my foot out here, that'd be great.
I love to stretch.
Okay.
We actually have some playlists just that we make for the studio and kind of keep going all day. But it's a lot of like R&B.
No, your playlist, not for the studio.
Well, I do.
You're in there by yourself. You're by yourself. Are you listening to the playlist studio or studio's playlist? Or
I
are you
do. It's just
like
my music? Yeah.
Well, still, you lock the doors. It's me. I may switch it up. I've heard this song. I heard this playlist 3 times already today. I want to do something different.
Yeah, it can get old. That's true.
Okay.
I like Dominic Fike.
Okay.
I feel like he's like a good. I don't get tired of his music. Maybe just something along those lines, like alternative and just stretch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just deep stretch or like a flow?
Probably just hold stretches.
Okay.
Or we have foam rollers that are, I think, like 3 feet long. Those are really nice to just like lay on, stretch your chest. We have a whole class that's just dedicated to recovery, but it's usually full. So
like, man,
sometimes I
Good.
just have
People
to
have
do it
their priorities
myself.
straight.
Yeah, people do like to mix in their stretching. So I think when I'm alone in the studio, that's like my main priority, because I like the energy of a group class. So I'm going to be doing active workouts. So if I'm just in there by myself trying to relax, like could answer emails, just foam rolling, you know? So it's really
And is Pilates your main way of working up, exercising?
Yeah, I pretty much, I mean, it's so convenient now that I'm there all the time. And I love to get into different instructors' classes. We are starting teacher training next week. So do a lot of one-on-ones with the trainees. I'd probably say like 3 to 5 times a week doing Pilates. And then I like to do hot yoga when I can, maybe like once a week. Yeah.
I love that you spend a lot of time in your own studio, because there's a lot of gym owners that don't. You know, they open it and they're like, okay.
Yeah, go run.
GM, do the thing. You know,
what is it like being just reading through your bio? What is it like being a 25-year-old CEO? What is that? Very much so, I'm sure. How is that?
Yeah, well, I did turn 26.
Okay, 26-year-old. She's like, well, actually, right.
May.
I was 25 when I opened the studio.
Okay,
so May 2nd.
Mine's May 3rd.
Oh my God.
Let's go. So you're a Taurus.
Yeah.
Let's go, Taurus twins.
It is interesting being my own boss at 26.
Okay.
We have a really good team, so I feel like part of it's just learning to trust people with the space and with the clients. But it's a pretty small community with us only having 10 machines. We have a small team of like 15 people, and then we have a small community of members. So it's manageable for sure. I think as we grow, I'll need to get more and more like full-time support. But I think what makes it so easy to like lead the team and like run the business is just that I have such a good support system. And some of the previous jobs I've had randomly have given me really good experience just managing people and operating businesses. So building out the studio is probably the biggest challenge. And once it was open, I felt like I had enough time to think about everything and just set up really good systems. I make a million lists so that it's like really easy for people to know what to do.
And how would your staff, how do you think your staff would describe you? What would they say?
I love this question.
That's a good question. I feel like they all think I'm relatively calm too.
Yeah. That's good.
When I'm at the studio, I try to be when I'm at the studio.
You seem very level-headed, which I think is a very important quality as a leader, you know, to be able to be level-headed and calm. So I imagine like when, I'm sure you've had things hit the fan where it's like, oh, obstacle, can't, you know, put this wall up or whatever. So when problems happen, I imagine you handle that with like, okay, I might be internally like freaking out right now, but guys, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I would say they would agree with that.
Okay. Well, we love that. And I mean, like, you've been so successful since you opened. That would also tell me that that's how you handle things as well. I mean, like, I don't think you would be as successful. I don't think you'd be sitting here talking about it if your staff did not like working with you.
Yeah, they're all very supportive and they love being at the space. It's not just, you know, when they're taking class, but we had a retreat and like half of our team just signed up because they wanted to come. And they love to come in and class plan, like when they're not scheduled to be at the studio, just because it's fun to hang out there, honestly. So we'll take each other's classes. Like we have a group chat. Whenever something exciting happens, we like celebrate it together. So it's a very supportive environment. And like when there's, you know, stressful moments, I try to like keep it together because it should be like a fun environment.
It
you know,
sounds
just
like
Pilates,
it is.
so there's no need to like make it stressful.
I mean, you could say the same thing about a lot of things in fitness and the gyms, you know, it's just fitness, guys.
Yeah, but I think there is a divide in being an instructor and being an owner, right? Like even mentally, right? Because regardless, like you can't just show up. You can't just show up at 9 a.m. and teach your class and go home, right? There's so many different things. So if someone calls out, it really falls on you, even though it may fall on them, right? You still have to make sure, hey, we have someone here to teach. Or why aren't the lights on? I don't know. Like, or is the bathroom's flooded? Oh no. Like, okay, what are we going to do? Right. So even if you're like just popping in, there's always an issue. It's always, hey, before you go real quick, Tuesday I won't be able to be here. Like what are we going to, right? What is that like mentally for you?
I think that's where the one yoga class a week comes from.
Yeah.
It's really nice to get to like anonymously take class somewhere else. And I'm like, they're giving me the lavender towel after class. I just throw it in the laundry.
I don't have to worry about washing it. Yeah, I don't have to come back coming back to it.
I don't have to be on my phone. You know, no one's going to tap me and tell me the music stopped. Like, so it's nice. I mean, when I take class at the studio, I have my dog there, I have my friends there. Like, I made the playlist. So it's like it's really fun still to take class. But I think it's a good balance to get to go practice somewhere else and kind of not have that mode. So I do appreciate getting to go to other studios still.
Good. Yeah. Same. That's why I don't work out at the gym that I train at for that exact reason. Like I need to get out of work mode. I need to like just be in Gerell mode, just to be able to go and just work out and be a customer like everyone else and not, hey, real quick, can I ask you a question? Like I know you're in the middle of, you know,
in the middle of your work.
Yeah, like, hey, just you see someone doing this to you, like, no, I'm not taking my headphones off. What do you like? What?
Yeah.
And so I know it's just a tough divide sometimes. Yeah.
So I have a couple of questions for you. What was the first one? I may have forgotten that. Well, that one I wanted to come first, but the second question was, where is Sydney Dumler going? Where is Forza Pilates going? Are you wanting to open more locations? Are you wanting to start new business ventures? Is it going to be fitness? Is it going to be something else? What do you have in your sights for the next like 5-10 years?
Oh, I have so many ideas. I think firstly, we just pulled off a really successful retreat, which is a very fun way to build community and test out new markets. I'm not sure exactly where we'd want to go next, but it's really awesome to see the response. Like I taught a class in Brooklyn, then we hosted a retreat in the Hamptons for 3 days. And like a lot of people have found us that live in New York being like, are you going to come here? And
you would fit very well in New York.
I would love that. But we get emails sometimes from developers that are looking for really cool businesses to bring into their developments to add value to the space. And we've been reached out to by different cities. And so there's always a lot to weigh and consider just in terms of opening different locations. But I think also as a fitness studio, like there's a lot in the digital world now especially since COVID, like there's YouTube workouts and there's ways to make Pilates more accessible. So I think with us having such limited capacity, being at that higher price point, I would love to offer something along the lines of, you know, in-home workouts. That would be really cool.
That is cool.
I love making merch. I'm like very interested in fashion.
You guys do have very cool merch.
Thank you. So more of that is a big plan for 2025. But we're actually opening a location inside Soho House. I don't know if you guys knew
this one. In
but I was going to ask you.
Awesome. That makes.
I was going to ask
sense.
you if you. Well, the question was going to be, have you guys talked about collaborating? But now you're not collaborating. You're opening one inside. Yeah.
With them. So we had like a temporary
in the gym.
Closure.
In the gym upstairs.
In the gym.
Okay.
Yes, we're building our own section of the gym. So it'll be like.
I can see. I know where it's going to be.
Yeah.
I know exactly where it's going to be.
We just had one delivered an hour ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We had a temporary closure in August for 2 weeks and kind of just asked them. I thought they were going to say no. I was like, what if we just like put our machines here for 2 weeks and hosted classes with all of our clients? And they were like, okay. So we did. And it went so well that they like wanted to meet with me. And they were like, all of our members are asking if this is something we can offer. Obviously, Pilates is getting more popular. People want to try it. They got to see it in the gym and were like, oh, that looks fun. Like I want to. Get in there.
I feel like Soho is
definitely Soho is definitely the Pilates crowd.
Yeah,
that is definitely the Pilates crowd.
And especially Forza, because I feel like Forza sets itself apart with like the aesthetic that a lot of people are looking for. Like you've done a great job with that design, the merch, everything is all very cohesive. And so Soho House is very cohesive as well. They have to be
their gym is. I haven't seen Forza, but I know the gym in Soho
and
House.
And the concept of Soho House is like they have like a system. You know, it's a unique system. It's not just a gym and not every location has a gym. It's not just like a bar or a restaurant. It's all of those things. It's a collective. So but it's like a high-end kind of collective, not like inaccessible, but you know, it's not like a, you know, garage gym, you know, it's like an establishment. It's a collective. So I just feel like it's such a perfect fit, especially for, you know, I've only been as a guest to Soho House, you know, experience that life for a second and then like, thanks so much.
If you want to go back, Sam, I'll take you back.
You know what I love though? It's whatever, but that you can't take pictures in the gym.
Can take pictures anyway.
I love
supposedly,
that.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, people still do, but
I know, but I still love it because it's just about being there and being present in the moment. But anyways, I think it's such a great fit.
It's really exciting. We're planning to start classes on Monday.
Awesome.
This week? Okay.
Yeah, the machines are in. So, I mean, there's not really much stopping us now that the machines are in. We'll slowly start to build out. But what's exciting, we're going to sell retail in their gym. There's a little lobby area that they are giving us space to sell different brands and then our own stuff as well. They want to co-brand some merch. So there's really awesome opportunity just in the wholesale space.
Sounds like it.
I love, clothes. That was what I said on my Christmas list.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited to sell retail, to have a small version of our studio there that's for their members. And I could see maybe more of that in the future.
I can literally see Forza being like bigger than just Pilates. Kind of like Soho House is bigger than just like being a gym or being a club. It's like, it's a brand.
Yeah.
And
How does that, and without getting into too many details, like how do you monetize that collaboration with Soho? Is it a pay-per class?
So it's kind of just like our
members
normal
are paying?
location. Yes. So it's an add-on for their
Gotcha.
membership, but we rent out like a portion of their space and kind of act as a pop-up.
Gotcha.
Like a residency in their space. Yeah.
Okay.
that's awesome.
That's kind of nice because we can use our systems and our own internal marketing and our instructors. So you get a very similar experience to what you get at our normal studio.
Okay.
But Soho House has really awesome amenities. They have a pool,
Yep.
they have a hotel, they have a sauna, a steam room. So for people
people come from like, who are traveling.
Yep.
If you have a Soho membership, they'll come to the Nashville location and
Pop upstairs
we
and
have
do a
Forza Pilates, which none of the other locations have yet. So who knows which other locations might want that,
Wouldn't that be cool?
That's a great, wow, good
Yeah,
for you.
definitely
You're
great
making
concept.
some awesome money
Congratulations.
moves.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Unexpected, but it kind of just happened in August.
But you seem like the kind of person that's like, you're very likable and you're very level-headed, like I said. So it's like you're somebody people want to work with. And,
yeah, I mean,
for being 25,
she's like, I'll take it.
too.
She's like, cool. That's what you're getting.
25 and 26. Like I was still responsible, I guess, at that age, but like a lot of people at 25 and 26 are still having fun, right? And then like, okay, now I'm going to settle into my career. It's like you were like, I want to do this now, and you did it, and you're able to still have fun, but you just earlier on than a lot of people, and I'm not saying everyone, but me, like you really like said, I'm going to do this, and you went and did it. And it's scary for a lot of people. We talked on Tara's episode about like jumping into owning a business and owning a gym. You think there's all these like bells and whistles to it, and there could be, but if you talk yourself out of it, you're never going to do it, and you didn't do that. So it's inspiring because you're so young. And
there wasn't really a time that I even thought twice about it. I was just like, I'm doing it, and no one can stop me.
there you go.
No one can stop
That's
me.
literally what Tara said.
You have to have that mindset. Otherwise, it's so easy to want to talk yourself out of it. Once you start construction, like that is a crazy process. So you have to be the biggest believer in what you're doing.
Well, it's inspiring because, like there might be 25, 26-year-olds listening right now that are like, don't think that it's possible or haven't even had that thought or, but it is,
Yeah.
Trent, is this my camera? It's possible.
Only because she's here, I want you to talk about your mother's inspiration. You talk a little bit about, you talk a little bit about your father and how like the design concept came from your father being Italian. What role does your mom, I'm assuming because she's here with you, right? What role does your mom play inspiration wise or just day to day with you being as successful at this point as you are?
Well, my parents have really insane work ethic. And I think they passed that down to me. They've been here for a few days and we've just been nonstop, like organizing the studio, moving things to the studio, like touching up paint till 10 p.m. at the studio, doing inventory, tagging clothes. So I think just that like drive I definitely get from them. But generationally, where we're different is they have corporate jobs. They're all about like financial stability and job security. And I think
You're like,
things are changing a little bit. Like me and my brother are both entrepreneurs.
Love
and so they're very supportive, but it's scary, to come from a different mindset of just like wanting that job security. Obviously, me and my brother, we went to school and planned to just get a job and kind of work our way up. But then we're both creatives, and he works in fashion, and I was doing this fitness thing, and we were both like, you know what, we're just gonna take the leap. So
what was your major at Belmont?
I was a music business.
You said music.
Oh, cool.
So you're not even like.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't like an exercise science thing where you kind of planned it. He's like, oh yeah, then I'll go into. How did we go from music business to? I think I'm gonna open a Pilates studio.
Yeah,
What was that call home like, Mom? Like,
play?
hey, Mom. Actually, I'm gonna open a Pilates studio instead of.
Do you play music?
I do. I'm a songwriter.
All right.
So that's kind of why I came out to Belmont.
Okay, yeah.
And I think there's very different lifestyles between the music industry and the fitness industry.
1,000%.
Yes, living in Nashville, I'm sure you've had a taste of both. But
I was in the music industry before I was in the fitness industry.
Okay,
So
you
we have
get
a
it.
little bit of a
and now we
parallel
both,
there.
Someone
Very
again.
different.
Someone's been humble. Someone went to Berkeley College of Music.
Yeah, but
No, but Saf. No,
there's a lot
Saf.
of similarities
No.
between the fitness and the music industry, but then there's also very, very extreme differences.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So at Belmont, I'm like doing both. I'm playing house shows. I did all the
Yeah.
basement like
Yep.
rock shows, opening
Yep.
up for bands. And then I was teaching yoga the next morning. And I'm like, this is
I want to see you in
interesting.
rock mode.
Oh, God.
I want to see Rock Sydney. What is Rock Sydney like? Like,
I wasn't rock, but I was opening up for like
okay,
the rock bands at Belmont.
Gotcha.
I imagine you
know.
write like alternative
Yeah,
type stuff.
kind of
Yeah.
more alternative stuff.
Okay.
But I just really liked the lifestyle of working in the wellness space a lot more. So I still songwrite, but I just I loved teaching yoga. I loved the consistency and just the like-minded people that I worked with. And I really loved the programming and the teacher training. So I think I kind of started off and all throughout college, I did both. And then I had a really good job working for Core Power Yoga after college. So I stayed there full time and led some trainings and I don't know, I just loved the wellness space and the lifestyle that came with it versus the music lifestyle of just going to shows. And I don't drink a lot. So it was kind of just, a choice of lifestyle differences. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. The creative piece too makes a lot of sense as to why you wanted to open a Pilates studio and why it's Forza, in the way it is. Because before knowing that, I was like, this girl is very you seem artistic, like you're an artist, and now it makes a lot of sense because you've had that since before you even started teaching. So it makes sense why you went into yoga and Pilates and, and I want to ask, just because it is this way for me, but does music is there a big connection for you with music and fitness like there is for me? Because I've kind of blended creativity musically with fitness a lot in my training. And it's hard to describe, but things like tempo and I do kettlebell flow and it's
I love that.
it's very rhythmic. And it's kind of, I think, helped me find the avenues of fitness that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Because it's rhythmic, hitting myself in the face with a microphone. But does it have a strong connection for you, or is it just I listen to music and I like playing music, and then fitness is its own piece of my life?
Yeah, I love the combination of both, and I think that was something when building my studio that I thought about was what kind of music are we going to play? Because there are definitely studios that have lights are down, it's clubbing music, the instructor has a microphone, and that gets people, up, gets them moving. For me, I coming from the yoga world, really wanted the music to be the drive and to create that serene environment, but not where you're falling asleep. So it's kind of, the music does play a part in it. And I thought about that a lot. And just when I was training with yoga, I loved yoga sculpt because everything was to the beat. It's really fun. I danced a little bit in high school. So I love being able to be creative and make playlists for the studio. But I also feel our social channels allow a lot of creativity.
Yeah.
We do catalogs and stuff when we have new merch collections come out. And so not every fitness studio needs to have a magazine necessarily. It's a little extra. But for me, I just love being able to do anything creative with the business. So I try to do really fun stuff with emails and social posts and photo shoots and try and take that editorial approach with it. So I still have a creative outlet that's not necessarily songwriting, but
That's so
makes
cool.
the job more fun. Yeah.
That makes so much sense to me. Like a magazine. Like I don't know any other gym or studio in fitness that has its own magazine. Like we have one, obviously, but we're not a gym. We're Nashville Fit. So that's really cool. And then down to the merch and down to the design of the studio and like. What made you choose like the reformers that you have? Like, because I'm sure there's multiple options that you have there.
I trained on those machines when I did my 500 hour, and I just really liked them. I've tried a lot of different ones, but they have a lot of settings you can mess with. You can do a lot more contemporary exercises on those machines. There's some more classical machines that have like the leather straps and the wood, and these specific aluminum machines just allow you to do like pull-ups and jumping and flying lunges, and you can adjust the height for different people. And I like them low to the floor, so when we do standing work, it's not as scary for people to fall. I'm 5'1", so like I want to get low in my lunge, and a lot of machines are too tall to where you like can't. So I thought about that a lot too. But yeah, these machines, they look sleek and they can do a lot. So I love them.
I mean, they can. I can attest to that.
Well, we have to take
loading them in. Yeah, no, we do have to take a break.
Yeah.
We'll come back and talk.
Yeah, we'll come back and talk about that. We have to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
Are you ready to take your fitness and wellness journey to the next level? Look no further than NutriShop, your ultimate destination for all things health and nutrition. Whether you're looking to build muscle, lose weight, or just live a healthier lifestyle, NutriShop has everything you need to reach your goals. With a wide range of premium supplements, vitamins, and sports nutrition products, NutriShop provides the fuel your body needs to perform at its best. Plus, our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to offer expert advice and personalized recommendations to help you achieve your fitness goals faster. Visit your local NutriShop today and discover the difference premium supplements can make in your life. NutriShop, where your health and wellness are our top priorities. Live better, feel better, NutriShop, the official supplement store partner of Nashville Fit Magazine.
And we are back with Sydney Dumler of Forza Pilates. Sydney, we were just talking about loading in reformers. How painstaking of a process is that?
It's kind of rough.
Yeah.
We had 10 machines for the private studio at our main studio. They come in boxes, not fully put together, and you have to.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Like IKEA furniture.
You have to get it out of the box, put the foot bar on, and make sure you do it right, because people obviously use it to hold their weight. Right. You have to thread the straps through. You have to. There's a lot. It's a long process, and they're very heavy. So when we had to relocate for 2 weeks, that was a huge process, moving all of our machines to Soho House.
How come you had to relocate for 2 weeks?
It's kind of a long story, but we had to do some repairs.
Gotcha.
At the studio as like a landlord request.
Yeah, so just like not like
just
an
a little
emergency.
inconvenience.
Gotcha.
But we made it work. We made it look intentional. So that was
level-headed
fun.
Sydney was like, guys, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's like we actually kind of can go to Soho House now. So they're like, oh great, like forget about Forza.
Love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to get into what we call stretch your intellect, Sydney. And this is a little different than the basket of debate. This is more of fact.
Okay.
Again, I always tell people Terry likes us to read out loud. So for some reason, so yours is right here.
Oh, no.
So you can read over yours first before. I know it's hard, like just to get put on the spot like this.
Sometimes they have a theme to them, and we don't find out until we start.
We don't know
them.
until all of us read all.
Wow.
And sometimes it's information you're like, "Wow, I'm really glad I learned that." And sometimes it's just information that you're
sometimes
like,
"Oh,
I know
okay,
this
Terry,
now."
thanks for that."
Fun fact.
Just a fun fact that we're reading out.
Who wants to go first?
You should go first.
Okay,
Let's
I'll go first. Once, it says in big bold letters, once Washington, D.C. wasn't the capital. And then underneath that it says, Philadelphia was the U.S. capital from 1790 to 1800, while Washington, D.C. was under construction. Oh. New York City had previously served as the nation's first capital. I actually knew that, I think. History class. It's ringing a bell, the Liberty Bell. Philadelphia. Oh my God.
See what you did there. See what you did there.
I passed.
Yeah. All right. Mine is going to be clean eating may be a hitting psychological risk. All right, Sav, this one's for you. All right.
What
Eating is what?
Clean eating may have hidden psychological risk.
Well, you're gonna have to tell Clean Eats that, not me.
Well, I know how much you love being lean and looking sexy.
Do you know what I eat on a daily basis? Did you not see the 60 eggs and
I
that I just bought?
So to my point, the focus on clean eating has inadvertently given a rise to orthorexia nervosa. Mm-hmm. And eating this, I know you saw I struggled with that for a second. An eating disorder where individuals become obsessed with healthy eating to the point of impacting their mental health and social life. Awareness is increasing, but the condition remains underdiagnosed in fitness communities.
Really quickly, I've had that.
Have you?
And like I don't like to put it past tense because I don't like to like act like I'm in denial about it, but I've had like straight up anorexia. Yeah. But then like orthorexia, a lot of people don't know about that. And I just want to say really quick, that is a very real thing, and it can spiral into an even realer thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, people don't know that's a thing. And it sounds kind of like, seriously, but like it's a real thing. Like what you deem as healthy eating is all you will eat.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Just like no balance.
Yeah, none whatsoever. It's pretty, and that can spiral pretty hard. So clean eating is good, but don't get obsessive about it to the point where you can't like go out with your friends and have a good time. All right, don't be that guy. All right, let's go to the last
mine
one.
is also history related.
How did I get the random then, Terry? What is happening? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. I'm sorry. How did I get the random healthy fact? 2 history and a health. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Sydney.
Presidents and vice presidents didn't initially run as pairs. Before the 12th Amendment in 1804, the candidate who received the second highest electoral votes became vice president, even if from an opposing party. This led to bitter rivalries, such as John Adams and his vice president, Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
Wow. Well,
yeah. Is this episode coming out before the election? Is that why this is
doubtful?
Oh, okay. I was just curious if this was like a theme. I was trying to figure out what was happening here. Just history.
Well, it's too late to say it now, but everybody go vote.
Yeah. Hope you voted, guys. Hope you're happy with the outcome. Whatever it is. We're not sure yet.
I don't even want to go there right now.
Sydney, we like to leave our guests with the last word. Okay. It can be Pilates related. It can be life related. You can be talking to the next 25, 26-year-old CEO out there. It doesn't matter. Just whatever you want to leave our community with. But make sure you leave us with where we can find you, both, not you, like where you're going to be later. No, where we can find all of your business info, Instagram or online info and everything like that.
Okay. Okay. Advice-wise, I guess since we've talked about my age a lot, it's to not let your age stop you, whether you're feeling like you're too young or too old to do something. Because I feel like some people have the opposite problem where they're feeling like it's too late to start over. So I think just do what you want. It doesn't matter how old you are, honestly.
Do what you want.
Yeah. Just
that's the advice.
Do what you want. That's what I'll leave you with. Yeah. And then my Instagram is just Sydney Dumler. Forza Pilates on Instagram. We have an app if you want to book and come take class. We have 2 weeks unlimited for $99. It's probably our best offer. So.
What's the address? To the studio, yes.
724 Merritt Avenue.
Okay.
It's right behind Dozen Bakery. If you've been.
And it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And very accessible. There's parking.
Yeah.
In Nashville, that's a big deal.
It's a huge, in Wedgewood, Houston, that's a huge deal if you have parking.
Free 90-minute parking validation.
Boom, y'all. I mean,
no excuse.
What else do you need?
There you go.
Sydney, thank you so much for coming on today. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I'm looking forward to seeing where everything goes for you, because it's just the beginning.
Thanks.
Just the beginning, yeah. Oh, and Stretch Your Intellect was brought to you by Burn Boot Camp, East Nashville. I'm sorry. I forgot to read that part out loud. Also, the Basket of Debate was Nutrition Factory. So thank you guys for sending us your weekly donation to Nashville Fit Magazine Podcast.
To at Sav's Venmo.
Yeah, right. I am the Gerell Webb. This is Sydney, and this is your girl.
Hi, I'm Sav.
We'll see you guys next time you press play.